The war was over. Smoke still rose from the broken buildings. Alien soldiers lay scattered on the ground. The air was heavy with the scent of dust, blood, and victory. In the middle of it all stood one human soldier, Ryan Hawley, his uniform torn. His face bruised, but his eyes steady. He had done what no one expected. Alone, he led a counterattack that saved an entire alien city from falling. But instead of thanks, all he got were strange looks. The aliens didn't really like humans. They saw them as weak, emotional creatures. Still, Ryan had earned respect today. At least that's what he thought, until the alien Baron arrived. Baron Zarek of Clan Vorik stepped out of his armored hover chair, his face decorated with royal markings and his sharp eyes full of amusement. "This human," Zarek said loudly, "has shown some skill." The crowd of alien nobles clapped politely, some smirked. Others whispered. "For your service," the Baron continued, "I give you a reward." Ryan stood at attention, unsure what was coming. Money? Land? A medal? Two guards wheeled out a strange figure wrapped in a gray cloak. Ryan's eyes narrowed. Was it a prisoner? Then the cloak slipped. A young alien woman sat in the chair, still silent and pale. Her eyes were open, but she didn't move. Her arms were thin, her legs limp. She looked barely alive. "This," the Baron said with a wicked grin, "is my daughter." Gasps rippled through the crowd. "She's been paralyzed for years. Can't move, can't speak. Useless to my house, but maybe she can warm your tent, human." Laughter exploded from the nobles. Ryan didn't move. Baron Zarek laughed louder. "What? Not pleased with your prize?" Ryan walked slowly to the girl. She didn't react. She only stared forward. Her face was calm, but her eyes were filled with shame. Ryan looked back at the Baron. He could throw this gift back. Walk away. That's what they expected. Instead, he knelt beside her and gently touched her hand. "I'll take her," he said softly. The crowd stopped laughing. "What?" the Baron asked. "I said I'll take her," Ryan repeated, standing tall. He gently pushed the wheelchair away from the center. The crowd watched in stunned silence as the human walked off with the paralyzed alien girl. Later that evening, Ryan sat in the small tent the aliens gave him, beside the quiet girl. Her name, according to a tag on her cloak, was Jira Vorik. She hadn't said a word, hadn't moved. Her skin was cold. Her clothes were too thin for the night air. Ryan made her a bed and wrapped a blanket around her. He brought warm soup and placed it near her lips. She didn't open her mouth. "Okay," Ryan said gently. "No rush, I'll wait." He turned on a small music box from Earth and placed it near her. A soft tune began to play, an old Earth lullaby. He sat down to eat quietly, tired from the long day. Then something happened. Just a little thing. Jira's fingers twitched. Ryan turned sharply. Was it real? He watched closely. Nothing. He waited another minute. There another twitch, very small, but real. He walked over, knelt beside her again, and placed his hand near hers. "You hear the music, don't you?" he whispered. She didn't blink, but a tear rolled slowly down her cheek. The next morning, Ryan asked the medical bots for her records. They refused. Restricted by Baron Zarek's order, they said. He didn't give up. He began cleaning her skin, brushing her hair, speaking to her as if she could reply. Every day, he played Earth music, read her short stories, and told her jokes. Even when she didn't respond, he continued. To others, she was useless. A joke. A punishment. But Ryan didn't see a broken girl. He saw someone still alive inside. And deep down, he felt something strange. Something warm. A connection. Maybe it was pity, or maybe it was respect. Meanwhile, in the palace halls, the alien nobles whispered, "Why is the human still keeping her? Doesn't he know she's just a body? Maybe he's as strange as they say." In his throne room, Baron Zarek laughed. Let the human play with his broken toy. One day, he'll get bored. But Ryan wasn't bored. He was more curious than ever, and he had just noticed something odd under Jira's blanket, something metal sticking out from under her seat. A strange glowing box, half hidden under her chair. He reached for it. Jira's eye twitched. She was watching him. Jira blinked. Just once. It was small, almost invisible. But Ryan saw it. He froze, holding the strange metal box he had just pulled from beneath her wheelchair. Its surface pulsed with a soft blue glow, like a quiet heartbeat. "Did you move?" he asked Jira's. Eyes shifted slightly, then stilled. She wasn't just a body. She was in there. Trapped. Ryan set the glowing box down and crouched in front of her. "You're awake, aren't you? You can hear me." She didn't speak. She didn't nod, but she blinked again. That was enough. Later that night, Ryan stared at the box on his desk. It was locked tight, no buttons, no latch. Just alien symbols glowing faintly across the surface. He didn't recognize the language, but his human data tablet beeped when he scanned it. Royal Memory Core, voice lock only. He looked over at Jira, asleep or maybe just resting. Her body still didn't move, but her face looked more peaceful now. He turned back to the box. "Voice lock," he whispered. "Does that mean your voice? The one no one's heard in years?" He brought the box close to her. "If you want me to open this, blink twice." Jira blinked. Then blinked again. The next morning, Ryan made a small device using an old translator, a speaker, and a visual sensor. It was primitive, but it could track Jira's eye blinks and turn them into simple yes, no answers. He placed it on the table beside her. "This might help us talk. If I'm right, you're still sharp in there." He leaned close. "You're not broken, you're just locked in." Jira blinked twice. The device lit up. A robotic voice said, "Yes." Ryan grinned. "Now we're getting somewhere." Over the next few days, Ryan spent every hour with her. He asked questions. "Do you feel pain?" One blink. "No." "Do you remember what happened to you?" Two blinks. "Yes." "Do you trust me?" Pause, then two slow blinks. "Yes." Every answer made Ryan more certain. This wasn't just a girl in a chair. This was a prisoner trapped inside her own body, and she was still fighting. One night, Ryan asked the question that had been burning in his mind. "Do you want me to open the box?" Jira blinked twice. "Yes." He brought it close. "But it needs your voice." Her eyes narrowed in focus. She didn't have a voice anymore. Or did she? Ryan got an idea. He connected the blink device to his tablet, then connected the tablet to the box. He typed, "Simulate her old voice." Jira blinked twice. The system worked for hours, analyzing her facial structure and old speech patterns saved in the device. The screen flashed, "Voice model complete. Try to unlock." Jira blinked again. The tablet spoke in a calm, clear voice. "Jira Vorak. Open." The box hissed open. Inside was a crystal chip, pulsing with soft pink light. Ryan plugged it into the Tintiva projector. A hologram filled the room. It was Jira, standing tall, proud, and smiling years younger. "Hello," the hologram said. "If you're watching this, I must be gone, or worse." Silenced. Ryan watched in awe as the real Jira blinked, her eyes wet. The hologram continued. "My name is Jira Varak, daughter of Baron Zarek. I was a trained warrior, a skilled pilot, and first in line to rule." The smile faded. "But someone wanted me gone. During the sky trials, my ship was sabotaged. I crashed. The medic said I'd never move again. My father hid me away, ashamed." The room went quiet. Ryan looked at the real Jira. So it was no accident. She blinked once. Then again. Her eyes were sharp now. Yes. Meanwhile, inside the palace, Baron Zarek watched the security feed of Ryan's tent. He saw the box open. He saw the hologram play. He slammed his hand on the control panel. "Send a warning," he barked. "Remind the human his place." Remind him she's nothing. One of his spies was already on the way. Back in the tent, Ryan sat beside Jira, watching her as the music box played again. She blinked in rhythm. She was improving. Every day, her mind seemed more alive. I'm going to help you, he promised. No matter what it takes. Jira blinked once. Then, slowly, her lips moved. Not a sound came out, but Ryan could read the word. Help. His chest tightened. It wasn't just about kindness anymore. It was about justice. About truth. And maybe something deeper, but outside, hidden in the shadows. An alien figure placed a small device under Ryan's tent floor. A silent signal blinked red. The warning had begun. The first thing Jira remembered was falling, not from a chair, not from a bed. She was falling from the sky. Inside her fighter, alarms screamed. The control panel sparked. Someone had tampered with the thrusters. She tried to call for help, but her voice never made it out. Then, the ground rushed up and everything turned black. Jira blinked hard. Back in the present, the memory crystal Ryan had unlocked was just the beginning. Now her mind was waking up, bringing pieces of her past with it. She blinked twice toward the tablet. Yes, she remembered. And now, she wanted revenge. Ryan was still inside the tent, going through old data files copied from the crystal. His eyes were wide as he played a message Jira had secretly recorded before her crash. I fear my own father, her voice said. Baron Zarek wants the throne for himself. If anything happens to me during the sky trials, know that it was no accident. Ryan's hands tightened into fists. He looked at Jira. You knew. You tried to warn them. Jira blinked twice. Yes. Just. Then, Ryan's unit buzzed. A private message appeared. Stop looking into her past. You've been warned. Next time, we won't be gentle. No name. No source. But it was clear someone was watching. Ryan stepped outside the tent and looked around. The guards nearby acted normal. Too normal. He went back inside and whispered to Jira. They're trying to scare us. They know we're close to something. Jira blinked once. No fear. Ryan smiled. That's what I thought. Over the next 2 days, Ryan visited old medical bots, repair stations, and even black market tech dealers. Using what little money he had, he bought small upgrades, things that could slowly stimulate her nervous system. He connected them to a chair that looked more like a throne now, equipped with neural links and sensors. Jira's fingers could now curl slightly. Her toes twitched when music played. And when Ryan placed a photo of the Baron in front of her, she blinked twice, then once more. He laughed. I think that means you really don't like him. That night, Ryan heard something, a whispering sound. He grabbed his weapon and stepped outside. Nothing. Then, he looked at the ground near the tent. Tracks. And a wire. His heart dropped. He followed it behind a bush and found a small black cube blinking red. A remote bomb. He disarmed it just in time. Ryan returned to Jira, his face pale. They want you gone for good. Jira didn't blink. She just stared forward, focused. Fierce. Ryan placed a hand on her shoulder. I won't let that happen, I promise. The next morning, Ryan smuggled Jira out of the camp. He used a medical transport vehicle and drove toward a hidden outpost, an old training center where Jira used to practice combat as a child. The place was abandoned now, overgrown with vines and dust. But the security files? Still there. Inside a locked vault. With Jira's help, her eyes guiding him. Through old codes they opened it. Inside were dozens of holocrystals, training videos, battle logs, and one file marked Incident, Sky Trial Sabotage. Ryan played it. It showed Jira's fighter just before takeoff. A crew member approached it with a silver canister. He wasn't on the regular staff list. Ryan froze the image and zoomed in on the man's face. He recognized him. It was one of the Baron's closest aides, and the same man who had brought Jira her medicine the day before the crash. This is it, Ryan whispered. Proof. Jira blinked twice. Her fingers clenched slightly. She remembered it all now, and she wanted justice. Suddenly, a loud sound echoed outside. Engines. Several armed vehicles had arrived. The Baron's guards poured out, surrounding the outpost. Ryan looked out the window. We're trapped, he muttered, but Jira blinked faster. Device translated. Fight, not run, Ryan chuckled. You really are a warrior. He powered up the chair's defense shield, activated the neural boosters, and handed Jira a control switch. It was basic, but with it, she could command small drones. The battle began. Ryan took the front. Jira controlled the sky. The outpost became a storm of light, smoke, and courage. For the first time in years, Jira fought back. As the last guard fell, Ryan ran to her side. You okay? Jira blinked. Yes. Then her hand slowly, painfully rose and touched his cheek. Ryan's heart skipped a beat. He grabbed her hand gently. You're getting stronger. Jira blinked once. Then she mouthed a single word. Home. He nodded. They weren't finished yet, but now they were finally starting to win. Jira screamed, but no sound came out. Her mouth opened. Her chest shook, but her voice had been gone for years. Inside, she was shouting, crying, begging to be heard, but outside, silence. Until now. Ryan stood beside her, adjusting the final piece of a custom device he had spent days building. A holocom collar. It wrapped gently around her neck and linked to the small chip in her brain, interpreting her facial muscles and eye movement. If this works, he said, you'll have a voice again, even if it's not your own. Jira blinked twice. The signal for yes. Ryan tapped the collar. It beeped. A robotic female voice spoke. System ready. Awaiting input. Ryan smiled. Let's try. Say hello. Jira focused. Her jaw tensed. Her eyes shifted. The device processed her movements. Hello. The voice was mechanical but clear. Ryan's eyes widened. Jira's lips trembled. She had spoken. The moment changed everything. Jira could now say what she felt, who she was, what had happened. Every blink, every twitch became a sentence. Soon. She was saying more. I remember everything. He tried to erase me. I want to stand again. Ryan worked harder than ever. He adjusted her neural stimulators, massaged her muscles, helped her sit upright without support. And Jira day by day grew stronger. Her fingers now moved freely. Her arms could lift halfway. And once, when Ryan dropped a tool, she caught it. Ryan laughed. You're not just recovering, you're training. Jira blinked twice. I am a soldier. I was born for this. Meanwhile, Baron Zarek received troubling news. Sir, a guard said, your daughter has been seen outside, moving, speaking, fighting. Zarek's hands clenched. Impossible. She's just a husk. Not anymore, the guard replied. She has help, the human. Zarek's voice turned cold. Then end him. And bring her back to me silent, like before. That night, Ryan and Jira sat under a metal roof in a safe house, deep in the desert. The stars above were bright. Jira whispered through the device. I used to fly between those stars. Ryan looked at her. You'll fly again. She blinked. Even broken wings can heal? He smiled. Yours aren't broken, just waiting. Suddenly alarms screamed. The safe house was under attack. Explosions rocked the ground. Ryan grabbed his rifle. Jira activated her drone command pad. Her hands were still weak, but her mind was sharp. Outside, drones flew into the night. Lasers flashing. Guards stormed the area. Ryan fought on the front lines, but he was outnumbered. Then, from behind the smoke, a tall alien in golden armor stepped forward. Jira's eyes went wide. Him, her voice said. Ryan turned. Who? My cousin. The one who sabotaged my ship. It was Voron Vorok, Jira's cousin, now next in line to inherit. He raised his weapon. Jira, you were supposed to die. Ryan charged, but Voron knocked him back with an electric blast. Jira's heart pounded. She couldn't walk. She couldn't run, but she could fight. She rolled her chair forward through the smoke and faced her cousin, still hiding behind others. Her voice crackled through the collar. Voron blinked. You can speak? I always could, she said. You just never listened. Suddenly, her chair launched a shockwave. Voron flew backward into a wall. Ryan stood, groaning. Nice shot. Jira blinked once. I'm not done yet. Together. They escaped into the night, leaving flames behind. Hours later, in a hidden cave, Ryan treated his wounds. Jira sat across from him. Her voice device buzzed. Why didn't you ever laugh at me? Ryan paused. Because you're not a joke. She blinked. Most people gave me pity. You gave me purpose. He smiled. You gave yourself that. I just helped. Jira looked up at the stars again. I want to show them all. I want them to see who I am, Ryan nodded. Then let's prepare. The galaxy needs to hear your story. Far away, Baron Zarek watched the news. Rebel signals had picked up a strange new voice, a robotic one speaking with fire and strength. I am Jira Vorak, daughter of the house you tried to erase. I remember. I am alive. Zarek stood in silence. His daughter was no longer a prisoner. She was a weapon. The Baron stood in front of a mirror, but the man looking back was afraid. He had ruled with pride. He had silenced his enemies. He had erased his own daughter without guilt, but now she was back, not just breathing but speaking, not just moving but fighting. And the worst part? The people were listening to her. Baron Zarek slammed his fists on the marble table. Get me the footage, he shouted. Moments later, a hologram flickered to life, showing Jira's message playing across pirate networks and hidden screens in the outer colonies. My name is Jira Vorak. I was betrayed, but I survived, and I will return. Zarek's lip curled. You should have died in that crash. Behind him, Voron, the cousin who had sabotaged her ship, spoke nervously. She must have help. That human. He's the reason. She's rising. Zarek's eyes narrowed. Then we end them both. Back in the rebel camp, Ryan reviewed the data they had stolen from the outpost. A folder labeled Royal Edicts, sealed, had finally decrypted. Inside were orders, signed by the Baron himself. Authorize the Sky Trial sabotage. Let the girl fall. Her weakness will be our strength. Ryan stared at the screen. It was the final proof. The Baron hadn't just hidden Jira. He tried to kill his own daughter. Jira sat beside him, her new brace glowing at her back. It supported her spine, helping her sit straighter now. Her voice device buzzed. I always felt it. But now I know. Ryan looked at her. What do you want to do? She blinked once. Take it to the council. It wasn't easy. The Royal Council was protected, watched, and loyal to the Baron's gold. But there was one secret way in an old transport tunnel Jira used to sneak through as a child, long before her accident. I was small then, she said through her device, but I remember. So Ryan and Jira planned the mission. Quiet, fast, dangerous. Jira would ride in as a wounded noble. Ryan would go as her bodyguard. The proof would be on a secure crystal, hidden in Jira's wheelchair. They arrived at the capital's edge. Guards watched every gate, but Jira smiled. Let them see me, she said. As she rolled forward, nobles gasped. She's alive. She moves. Is that Jira Vorak? Jira said nothing. She didn't need to. Her eyes told the story, and her silence shook the world more than the Baron's voice ever could. Inside the council chamber, voices rose. She's dead. This must be a trick. No, I recognize her. That's the true heir. What is she doing here? Then her voice device echoed through the high ceiling. I bring truth, not tricks. Jira rolled to the center. I was paralyzed by betrayal, but not broken. She placed the data crystal into the chamber's main console. A giant screen appeared. The Baron's own signature appeared. Beside the death order. Gasps filled the hall. The old nobles froze, and then Baron Zarek stepped into the chamber himself. He clapped slowly. "So dramatic," he sneered. "You came crawling back just to throw stories at the council?" Jira met his gaze. "Your lies are over." Zarek's smile faded. "You're still weak, still half broken." Ryan stepped forward. "But she's standing, and you're about to fall." Zarek laughed, then snapped his fingers. Suddenly, armed guards stormed the chamber, weapons raised. But before they could act, dozens of rebels burst in from the other side. Led by Ryan's allies, the chamber erupted into chaos. Jira activated her command. Drone. Lasers flashed, screams echoed, but she kept rolling forward toward her father. He backed away. "Stay back, you're not fit to rule." She raised her hand, now strong enough to hold a small energy pistol. "Neither are you." Zarek lunged, but Ryan tackled him. Jira fired once right into the air. The sound silenced the room. "This is not revenge," she said. "This is justice." Hours later, Zarek was arrested by his own guard captain. The council declared him unfit to rule, and Jira was crowned heir once again. But not just a princess. A symbol of strength, of survival, and of a future no one saw coming. That night, under quiet stars, Ryan helped Jira into a new chair lighter. Faster, with glowing armor around the wheels. "Ready for the next chapter?" he asked. She smiled, and spoke without help this time. Her voice cracked, but real. "Yes." The first time Jira moved her leg, no one saw it, but it was just a small twitch. But to her, it felt like thunder rolling through her body. She stared down in shock. Tears filled her eyes, because after all these years of silence, shame, and stillness, her body was finally waking up. The royal palace had changed. The golden banners now carried her symbol of phoenix rising from fire. Jira sat tall on her throne, no longer hidden in a dusty backroom, no longer called useless or broken. She wasn't just the Baron's daughter anymore. She was the survivor. The council had removed her father from power. Ryan had cleared her name, and the galaxy had started whispering a new word: hope. But behind the cheers and parades, Jira was busy. Her mind never rested. She trained every morning with Ryan, pushing her limits, lifting her arms higher, holding herself upright, standing for seconds at a time. The technology helped, but her willpower was stronger than any machine. One night, Ryan found her alone in the gym, hands shaking, face red with effort. She was trying to walk without her chair. "Hey," Ryan said, rushing over, "you don't have to do this all in one day." Jira collapsed into his arms, breathing hard. Her voice device buzzed. "I don't want to be carried anymore." He looked at her quiet. "You're not being carried. You're being supported." She blinked once, then smiled. "Then don't let go just yet." But not everyone was happy with her rise. In the shadows of the outer colonies, a hidden council of nobles gathered. "She's dangerous," one hissed. "Too popular," another growled. "If we don't stop her soon, she'll unite the entire sector." At the head of the table sat a figure, cloaked in silver. VORN.ZHYRA single quotes S cousin. The same man who had once sabotaged her ship and tried to finish the job with an attack. Now, he wore a deep scar across his jaw, a gift from Ryan's last punch. "She stole the throne," Voron said. "I want it back." He lifted a small vial glowing green. Inside swirled a virus that attacked nerve links and spinal implants. She used machines to rise. He smirked. "Let machines bring her down." Back in the palace, Ryan sat with Jira on the balcony, watching ships light up the sky. "You've changed everything," he said. She replied softly through her voice tech. "Not alone. You believed in me first." He chuckled. "Guess we both like impossible things." She looked at him. "I don't think you're impossible." He turned, Surprised before he could answer, a sharp alarm blared inside Jira's chair. System error. Neural connection failing. Her body jerked once. Then twice. She slumped forward. Ryan caught her. Jira? Her lips moved but no words. Came. The medics rushed in. Her systems were collapsing, every implant flickering. Her nervous system shutting down again. It's a virus, one medic said. Something was injected into her system. It's targeting her brain-to-body link. Ryan's fists clenched. Sabotage. Again. Inside the emergency chamber, Jira drifted in and out of consciousness. Her thoughts raced. Her heart pounded. Not again, not again. She wanted to scream, but she couldn't speak. Not even through her device. Her world was turning. Dark again. Then through the blur, she felt something. A hand, warm, steady, familiar. Ryan. He sat beside her, eyes filled with fire. You listen to me, he whispered. You're not going back to silence. You fought too hard. You're staying here with me. He placed a backup chip into the interface, a last resort device that could restart her system using his own neural signature. You gave me purpose, he said. Now I'm giving you mine. He activated it. Everything went still for 3 long seconds. No sound. No lights. Then beep. Her fingers twitched. Her eyes opened. The voice device rebooted. Static buzzed. Then, Ryan. He looked up, eyes wide. She was back. She wasn't fully healed. She couldn't walk yet. But something had changed. Her mind was sharper. Her heart was fiercer. And her strength? Unshakable. Jira sat up in bed and looked straight ahead. This was an attack, she said. Ryan nodded. And we're going to find out who did it. She blinked once. Then we finish this. Far away, Voron watched the failed virus report on his screen. He cursed under his breath, but then smiled. She survives everything, doesn't she? He stood and opened a drawer. Inside, it was a sword, black metal, ancient, and humming with dark energy. Let's see if she survives me. In person. The sword was older than her bloodline, forged from dark metal pulled from the heart of a dead star. It was once meant for kings. Now, it was in the hands of a traitor. Voron Vorok stood at the gates of the capital city, his long black cloak flowing in the wind. Behind him marched an army of paid mercenaries and bitter nobles. He raised the sword high. Bring me the broken girl, he shouted, and I'll give you the galaxy. Inside the palace, alarms rang out. Ryan rushed into Jira's chamber. They're here. Voron brought a full army. He wants your throne. Jira, seated in her armored chair, was already strapping on her gloves. She looked up calmly. Her voice device spoke. Then let him come. This time I don't run. Ryan knelt beside her, placing a small shield on her arm. You know he wants to face you one-on-one. Jira blinked. Then that's what he'll get. The city streets filled with smoke as Voron's army approached. But the people didn't run. They gathered. Watched. Some even stood in front of the palace gates, not to fight, but to witness. To see if the stories were true. Could the paralyzed princess really defend her throne? Was she truly unbroken? The great doors of the palace opened. And Jira rolled out. Alone. No guards. No armor lines behind her. Just her. And Ryan, walking quietly by her side. The people whispered. She came herself. She's not afraid. She's challenging him. Voron's lips curled. How touching, he sneered. Coming to beg? Jira's voice crackled through her collar. I came to finish what you started. He stepped forward with his sword. Then die like the weak girl you are. She replied, I was weak once. You made me strong. The duel began. Jira activated her enhanced chair wheels glowing, energy shields rising. Voron charged. She dodged, firing short bursts from wrist blasters. His sword struck, sparks flying. But her shields held. She spun fast, her chair responding like a trained animal. Striking him with a shock baton, he growled, You're a machine. She answered, "No, I'm the girl you couldn't kill." Ryan fought nearby, keeping enemies from interfering, but his eyes never left her. She was fighting not just for herself, but for every voice once silenced. Vor ran, grew tired. His swings slower. His breathing heavier. Jira waited, then moved in. With one final blast from her chair, she sent him flying backward. His sword slid across the ground. She rolled to him slowly. "Do it," he hissed. "End me." She raised her weapon. The crowd held their breath. Then she dropped it. Her voice spoke clear. "I don't need to destroy you. You already destroyed yourself." Guards surrounded Vorin. This time, the people didn't cheer for the strongest fighter. They cheered for the survivor. The heir who never gave up. Later that night, the city celebrated, but Jira sat alone on the balcony, watching the stars. Ryan joined her quietly. "No speech?" he asked. She smiled. "They've heard my voice enough today." He nodded. "But not your real one." She looked at him. And then, without her device, she whispered, her voice soft and broken but hers, "Thank you." Ryan, he froze, then smiled. "You don't owe me thanks." She reached out, her hand strong now. He took it. "No," she said. "I owe you my future." In time, Jira walked again. Not always steady, not always far, but every step was hers. And when the galaxy spoke her name, they didn't say the paralyzed girl. They said Jira Vorak, the heir they couldn't silence.